I'm reading from the NIV, and it reads, "During those days, another large crowd gathered. Since they had nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples to him and said, 'I have compassion.'" Underline that. My message is in compassion and the challenge. "I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me how long? How long? 3 days. And have nothing to eat." And he says, "If I send them home hungry, they will collapse on the way because some of them have come a long distance." His disciples answered, "But where in this remote place can anyone get enough bread to feed them?" "How many loaves do you have?" Jesus asked. "7," they replied. He told the crowd to sit down on the ground. When he had taken the 7 loaves and given thanks, he broke them and gave them to his disciples to distribute to the people, and they did so. They had a few small fish as well. He gave thanks for them also and told the disciples to distribute them. The people ate and were satisfied. Afterwards, the disciples picked up 7 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. About 4,000 were present. After he had sent them away, he got into the boat with his disciples and went to the region of Dalmanuth. All right, compassion and challenge. Compassion and challenge. There are 2 things that are closely intertwined in this miracle. Number 1, the compassion of Jesus. Number 2, the challenge of Jesus. Over and over, we see that Jesus is moved with compassion for the people. I mean, even as he goes into Jerusalem, and he was on the side of the hill coming over into Jerusalem, and the Bible says that Jesus wept. Compassion. Compassion. What is our compassion? You know, Jesus was very, very considerate about the people. You know, very considerate. It's interesting to watch and to see how people respond to one another. Considerateness is a virtue which never forgets the details of life. Think about that. You may even want to write this down. Considerateness is a virtue which never forgets the details of life. Jesus is thinking, you know, we're going to bring this to a close. It's late in the evening or afternoon, and I'm sending them off, and they haven't eaten. You know, I haven't fed them. They haven't eaten in the last few days. 3 days they were with him. And he says, before they leave on their journey, we got to do something for them. Even us, as we think of people, we would be compassionate, or we would have this considerate attitude towards them. Jesus looked at the crowd, and he knew they had a long walk home. He was concerned about their walk. He cared for them. Say that. Jesus cared for them. Jesus cared about them. He cared about what was going to happen to them. Jesus loved them. There was a man that was driving on a freeway, and he was stopped because he was going pretty fast. And as the police officer came up to him And he said, you know, you were going fast, and by the way, you drove past that wreck back there. Why didn't you stop? You know, you were the first car to go by them. Why didn't you stop? You know, there was no one there to help. You were the first to show up. Why didn't you stop? And the man said, I didn't want to get involved. When I was in junior college, in one of the classes I was attending, the professor told a story, and it just happened. It was in the newspaper about an individual that in an apartment complex, a high-rise apartment complex, that someone was being beat up and attacked, and he was yelling for help. And it is believed that over 100 people heard his cry for help, and no one responded. No one came. We saw in the news a few months ago about a police officer that had pulled someone over, and the person that was in the car jumped out and began to beat on the police officer, had the police officer on the ground and was beating him up, and cars were just going by. Compassion. Compassion. And they asked the man, and they would ask people later, and they all said the same thing. I didn't want to get involved. I had so much to do to get mixed up in this thing. So much to do. I am so busy. Compassion. It's human nature to want to avoid the trouble of giving help. One of our members in our church last Wednesday night wasn't here because he was helping someone. I think that's a great virtue. We need to help. We need to help someone. We need to be able to help, our friends. Sammy in his work will have people that he knows, contractors, that'll call him and say, I am really in trouble. I got to get this job done. Can you help me? And Sammy, even as I have talked to him over the years, his attitude is, I will help my friend, not for the paycheck, but because he's my friend and he needs help. That should be our passion. Dr. John has patients that comes to his dentist business, and he knows that they have a need to be done, but they don't have the means and they don't have insurance. He does what he does because they need help. Need help. We would be moved by compassion. Compassion. So it's human nature to want to avoid the trouble of giving help. It's divine to be moved with such a compassion and mercy that we are compelled to help. Compelled to help. Compassion. Do you have compassion? Are you compassionate? Are you considerate towards people? The second thing that we see in this text about Jesus is the challenge. The challenge of Jesus. Jesus wanted to give the crowd something to eat. You see that? They got to be fed. We need to give them something. She's gone to heaven, but a grandmother that she was very well known in Oklahoma for her desire to bless people or to feed them. When people would come and work on the crops in Oklahoma, when you time to gather your crops, many people would come from all over to help you harvest. As well as when they were harvesting, you would go to help them harvest their crop. And so Grandma, when these people would come, she would want to feed them. And there were times she didn't have a lot, but she still wanted to feed them. And it was always amazing to her that when she would begin to cook, there was always enough. Always enough. The challenge of Jesus is this when he said to his disciples, what do we have? What do we have? And as we see here, he says, how many loaves? And they said, 7. That's a good number, 7. And so he says they set him down. And then someone showed up said, and we have a few small fish. Doesn't even say how many. But what do we have? We have 7 loaves of bread, a few small fish. There's nothing like a good fresh bread and a piece of fish. Eat together, send you on your way. And what do we have? Take what you have, give it, and see what happens. Take what you have, give it, and see what happens. Jesus is saying, if you see someone in trouble, help him with what you have. A few years ago, I was going off the freeway, heading down towards the fairgrounds, and as I was going off the freeway at the exit, there was a car in front of me, and someone ran the stop sign, T-boned that car, and flipped it over on its top. Now, I'm not a strong man to lift that car up, but I was the first on the scene, and I felt I was very responsible. And there was this lady, the first thing I did is called for help, got out of my car, went to her, and she was in her seatbelt upside down. But in her window of her car, it said, baby on board. And so the first thing I was concerned about was, where's the baby? Where's your baby? It's not with me. But I don't carry, I used to carry knives, but since you had to go through all of these metal detector things, I just stopped carrying them, because I don't want it to go through an airport, forget I had a knife on me. And so I was telling her, it's going to be okay, it's going to be, and in a few seconds, the ambulance arrived, and they were able to cut her down. You had to cut the seatbelt, and I didn't have a means by which to do that. But what did I have? I had the time to stop to speak to her and say, it's going to be okay. We've called the ambulance. They will be here in a few seconds. What do you have? What do you have? What's in your hand? I remember I'm telling in my Bible studies with the people in Merle Gardens about I'm telling a Bible story. So we're dealing with Moses now. We've gone through the entire book of Genesis with our Bible stories, and now we're in Moses. But remember when Moses was at before God, the fiery bush, and the Lord is calling him, and he's explaining, well, what do I have? And he says, what's in your hand? A rod. Well, throw it on the ground. What did it turn into? A snake. And he says, pick it up by the tail, and he did. And normally these guys that are handling snakes, they don't pick them up by the tail. Why? Yeah, flip around and bite the fire out of you, correct? But you pick it up behind its head. And God said, pick it up by its tail. And he did. And what did it do? It turned back into a rod. What's in your hand. Maybe God would say to us, what's in your wallet? You know, not the other day, but a few months ago, I was in a parking lot going to go buy a gift for Diane, and someone walked up to me and said, I'm hungry. And I said to him, oh, I have money, but I'm not going to give it to you. But I know there's a McDonald's in here, and if you're that hungry and willing to walk with me, we'll go get you a Big Mac, French fries, and a Coca-Cola. And of course, what's nice about McDonald's is you could drink all of the Coca-Cola you want. Right? Those free fill up the cup thing. If you do that, get the small cup. Why pay for a large cup when you can go back and get another, and another, and another? Right? Sure. So anyway, I took him in, and there was a guy walking up the hall. He says, are you okay? Because this person wasn't the most handsome person in the parking lot. And I said, I'm fine. I'm just going to go buy him lunch. And I did. What's in your hand? Some of us say, well, I just don't have time. I'll give them $5 so they can go get something to eat. Will they? Or will they go buy $5 worth of beer or $5 worth of wine? You know, I'd rather give them something that they can eat rather than, or save it up and buy the drugs that they need. You know, I never give money to people standing at the street corner since I read the article about them leaving the street corner, getting in their car and driving away. What's in your hand? Now, in our story here that we read about Jesus, we find that when they had finished eating, they gathered together a basket full of bread. Now, in Mark, earlier, we read about and we talked about it, that the baskets when Jesus fed the 5,000, there were baskets that were the shape of a water bottle, small at the neck, and that's what they used to gather up. Now here in this portion of Scripture, it's interesting to see that in the Greek, they used another word for basket. The word that they used here for basket was a basket that was shaped like a hamper. It had a lid, and you would put things in it. You would put clothes or all of this. So in the one incident, they had a basket with a small neck like a water bottle around, and they gathered those full. Now we find that they're using like a hamper going around and gathering up these baskets. And you say, well, what kind? It's the same word used for basket that is used in Acts 9:25, when they let Paul over the side of the wall. They put him in a basket. How many remember reading that? They put him in a basket and let him over the wall. Same basket. So in one incident, there was just enough for each individual, each disciple. 12 baskets full. Remember, we talked about that. And there was enough for that individual. So you say, well, what do we learn out of this? God will supply for your individual needs. That's cool. Amen? Give us this day our daily bread, we're taught to pray. But it also says in the word, give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together. So what God wants to do is not only bless us for our individual need, but to bless us so that we could bless others. Amy has a house that has how many bedrooms? 4 bedrooms? 5 bedrooms? 4 bedrooms. Since Lou passed away, Amy has opened her house up to bring into her home individuals that need help. Now, this could become wearisome because some people will come and say, Amy, you take care of me. You become my mommy, and I'll just sleep till noon, and I wake up and I'll read the. But there are others. But there are people that have needs. What's in your hand? What do you have? What abilities do you have? If there's people in your neighborhood and you're out mowing your lawn and they're unable to get out and mow their lawns, and I don't know what it costs for a lawnmower guy to come and mow your lawn, but well, why not when you got your lawnmower, it's all hot and ready to go. Go mow their lawn. What's in your hand? My lawnmower. Well, go mow their lawn. They need help. Right? Or maybe you've cooked a big pot of stew for dinner, and there's a senior person that lives by you. Well, go take them a bowl of stew. What's in your hand? What do you have? See, the challenge of Jesus is take what's in your hand, give it, and see what would come back to you. Well, not enough for your daily need. It'll be in abundance. It'll be a hamper full of blessing. Why do we want a hamper full of blessing? So that we can help others. Amen? So that we can be a blessing to others. What can I do with what I have? I want to bless someone. What's in your hand? Are you willing to give it? God, use what I have for the glory of God. Use what I have. You know, the Bible teaches us God is the bread of life. You know, in Mark 6, we see the coming of the bread of God to the Jews. That's where they had the bread in the little bowl. But here in Mark 8, we see the bread coming to the Gentiles. Help them. Help them. Help us to be a blessing. Help us to touch those. Jesus came to satisfy the hunger of the Jews and the Gentiles. In Jesus, the truth is God opens his hands and he satisfies the hunger of every man. How does God do this? He does it with us. Are we willing? Are we willing to open our hand and to give to others? Are we willing to be a blessing? It's up to us. It's up to us. When I was in college, we used to tease and say the Foursquare prayer is, bless us for and no more, amen. That's not the truth. We want to be a blessing. How can I help someone? This past week, how did you help someone? How did you bless someone? What did you do to be a blessing? What did you do? You know, just we should be aware. You know, Jesus, as we look in our text, he was aware of the crowd. We should be aware of the people we work with, people that were around in our neighborhood. We should be aware, just sensitive, just alert. You're walking in the shopping mall, you know, just be aware. One day we were walking through the mall, and here comes this little child just crying its eyes out. Well, we stopped the child. What's the matter? My mommy, my daddy. You know, the child wandered off, and mom and dad wandered their way, and all of a sudden, you know, a guy this tall, it's hard to see over the racks in a store. You know, what's in your hand? Well, I'm tall enough I could find your parents. There they are. There they are. What does your mommy and daddy look like? What's in your hand? Let us stand together.